Good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing amazingly well. The dynamics on the sky is changing, and I hope you're changing with it. Mercury is direct again, everything's amazing. Anyways, today we're talking about one subject that I'm always getting asked. I don't think I ever had a client who never asked me this question at one point or the other. So today we're discussing how fast you need to move when you are starting a relationship with the man, and maybe I will give you a surprise answer. Anyways, but before we all start, I will tell you that so the question is that I'm getting asked is how fast should I be intimate with the guy, and whether should I already start doing it, or should I wait, or should I hold on, or should I pretend that I'm this kind of a person that doesn't give in easy or something. So I want to tell you something before I will start about myself. Now I had men who I slept on the first date. I had men who were only for that. I had men who I took my time to get to know, and I had men who I really pretended to be like this good girl, and I waited for months and months. Now, neither one of those men left me because of that reason, you see. Now, but there were men that did pull away from me, that left me. Some of them came back for a different reason, and I will get to that. But for me, like, maybe if you are like me, if you were brought up in the same kind of environment with the same family, maybe you were also somewhat conservative. You see, I'm coming out from a very conservative family. Well, not like strictly, very strictly conservative, but it just happened. My grandparents lived together for many, many years happily on both sides. Well, on one side, I don't know how happily they were, but they lived together for many years. Now, my parents also, my mom never dated after my father passed away. So I kind of took it that you are supposed to be selective, and you need to take time before you will get, before you get intimate with somebody. I don't know. It was just engraved in me, not by my parents, not by my grandparents, but by what I saw around me. Now, if I would have somebody who was like dating constantly, who was changing man, maybe my perception would be different. Now, I didn't have such examples, so I grew up with such beliefs that that you need to be that you need to take your time, that the man should marry before you will even kiss him, and all that stuff. And it was very it was not comfortable for me, but I believed in that faithfully, and kind of I lived my life accordingly. And if I didn't follow those rules, I would feel very ashamed of myself, and I would be like regretting what I did. And I believed that men were pulling away because I was not, because I didn't wait, because I was, I came off as promiscuous and all that. So, anyways, this has all changed long before I studied energy. But I had this friend, and she was my colleague, and she was highly respectable by me, by everybody else, from a very good family. And she was dating this guy. And one time we were talking together, and she said something like, among the lines, "I slept with my boyfriend, on the first date, and not in the very best kind of conditions, so to say." And I was surprised. Now, mind it, she's married to this guy now. They have a few children, and they're pretty happily married. But at that moment, when she said that, it clicked in me, and I was like, damn, so everything I believed in was wrong. So he respected her even though she slept with him on the first date. So he didn't lose the respect for her. And this was the first time when the seeds came into my mind, and they started developing that you don't need to pretend that you're such a good girl, and you you don't kiss until the third date and all this and that, to really to hold a man doesn't really care what you're doing. So but this was the first time, and after that I started thinking, I started believing, and I started observing myself and the people around me. And I started acting differently. I already didn't pretend that I'm something that I'm not. And I didn't felt guilty if I was acting on my instincts, uh, even though they might have been wrong. So this is my story, to start with. Right now I do whatever I want. I don't I know after this this video, I hope you will start doing whatever you want, because the relationship do not build on how long you are postponing intimacy. The relationship is built on energy, and if you keep the right energy, you can do anything, and the man will be at your feet all the time. So at this point, I do whatever I want, whenever I want, how I want. I just know that I need to keep the energy right, and I will get to that. Because even right now, with all my kind of knowledge and everything that I know, I still make mistakes, and men still pull away from me for a little time until I realize, okay, Anastasia, you again not in the right mind. Return yourself, get the man back if you want, obviously, and like that. So let's get to it now. I know that there are a lot of bloggers right now who are telling you that you need to be this kind of princess in the high tower, and only the best one and the most kind of persistent man should get the access to you and to your body. Now, I would be very careful with those listening to those bloggers. Why? Um, because they teaching you to pretend that you are not. You see, they teach you to maybe despise man, to look on man from above, and this is never right. We socialize energetically. A man will feel, and he will see if you are fake or you are really feeling like that. So I would be careful. Now, also. You remember how I told you that there were men that that the man never left me because of the time I chose to be intimate with him. But there were times when man left me, and those were times when I absolutely dissolved myself in man. So what happens usually you become very kind of, once you become intimate, you believe that you guys are one, and you start acting like one, and this is what's happening. I once I before, not now, but once I was becoming intimate with the guy, I would demand the absolute attention from him. I would become jealous. I would start checking, making sure what is he doing, where is he, who is he hanging out with, and this was creating a huge energetic pressure in me, in him. Even if I would not tell him, it still wasn't me. He would feel it, and it pushed man away from me. This was pushing man away. Not not the ones that not the intimacy choice. It was my absolute dependence on them that pushed them away. So it had nothing to do with intimacy. And I will tell you. Well, I guess I will tell that later. So, anyways, you for a man to be for you to keep a man in your life, so you start in a relationship with the man, and you're thinking that you need to keep his interest, and as long as you are not giving him anything, he will stay interested in you. So there's only two things that you need to keep a man next to you. So the first one is his interest in you. He has to be interested, whether you want it or not. The man has to be interested. If a man is not interested, you can do whatever you want over there. You won't pull him towards yourself. Energetically, if you guys are not on the same level, it will never change. Even if you will do whatever you decide to do, even if you seduce him and give him whatever he wants, that will not work, because he's not interested in you from the start. The second thing that you need to for a man to stay next to you, you could not dissolve in him. So this is very important. If a man is interested and you are enjoying him, his company, his presence, and you are not dissolving in him, so you enjoying his presence, but for as long as it lasts, you are not losing your life because of him. A man will always stay next to you. Masculinity is not that high maintenance to require too much. The only thing they need is to be interested in you, or any woman they choose to be with. That means that she still looks beautiful. I mean, she's still interesting to him, and she's not dissolved in him. She's not putting that huge pressure on him that he's owning her everything and all his life. All right, so let's talk about a little in detail about his interest. So his interest is if a man showed his interest in you and you are also interested, you need to make sure that you keep that interest going. You see, if masculinity is very fast, they change the. I wouldn't say that their interests change very much, but if they don't get results in something, they get discouraged. You not even discouraged, like they lose interest. So you need to make sure that his interest is there, and you're supporting his interest in you. You see, like me, for example, I love YouTube. I mean, I put videos. I had certain expectations for YouTube. Those expectations were not met. Now I still do videos because I like to do them. Plus, I send these videos to my clients, so it works for me. But I'm not as invested in YouTube as I used to be. Now, it's the same with the man. A man can be interested in you. He might even he will keep you in his life, but he would not be as invested as he could have been if you would keep the interest going. So, for example, uh, so, for example, he showed you interest once, he showed you interest twice. He's asking you to go out. He's asking you, to meet him. He's asking you for this or that, and you're like, no, no, no. After a few notes, he'll be like, okay, that's fine, next. Or if you decide that, okay, so I'm not going to be intimate with him for 2 years, the guy will put you on a back burner, and he will be like, okay, so I will wait for 2 years, but let me find somebody else. Who knows who he's going to find in the meantime for you. I don't say this to push you to do things you're not comfortable to do. I just want to tell you that a man's interest needs to be, it's like fire that needs wood all the time. It needs some kind of confirmation. A man needs to know that he's moving in the right direction. If you are not giving him that confirmation, pretending to be this non-interested ice queen, how is he going to, he will lose interest, especially if it's a man somewhat, if he's somewhat successful, if he's okay looking, I mean, there will be somebody else who would show him, who would support his interest in them. So this is important. A man's interest need to be constantly kind of fed. His actions need to be somewhat validated. You see, he needs to know that he's doing something right. That he, if you will pretend like you're this kind of unapproachable princess, and you are not that, he will not be fighting for your attention. It was before when there was only one princess or one queen, and there was a whole bunch of knights who had nobody to worship, and they were all worshiping that one queen. But there are a lot of queens right now, and everybody's a queen, everybody's a knight. Some are not. But anyways, what I want to say is that for the man's interest to burn, you need to make sure that you threw some wood in there, and the wood should be some kind of reciprocation. I always tell, date somebody who you really like, even if you are choosing a sugar daddy or somebody who's going to support you. Choose somebody who you at least somewhat like. This way, it would be very easy to support his interests. You would be genuine in what you're saying and what you're doing. He will give you a compliment, and you would genuinely feel it. You would genuinely be grateful for that compliment. He invites you somewhere, and you will be genuinely excited. That you would not treat it as some kind of work that needs to be done. It's much easier. So again, his man's interest need to be supported by you. It's very rarely that a man will be so fixated on you that he would not even allow anybody else in his life. That would almost be unhealthy. It's only healthy in these books, the little love stories. For the most part, a man is very fast moving creature. Especially a masculine man. He has the interest. If it's not reciprocated, okay, next, and he's in there like this. So I don't say that you need to be easy and you need to drop yourself in front of him right away, but you need to understand that the man's interest need to be supported with your actions somehow. Now, as I said, I have admirers in my life. I don't do nothing with them, but once in a while, I do remind about myself. I obviously, when they're sending me something, when they're calling me, I always answer. I always speak nicely. I show them that they are appreciated in my life, even though nothing is going to happen. Now, the second thing is, and I even put over here, do not try to pretend something that you are not. At the end of the day, the man will give you as much as your self-value is. So all this pretense that you are not interested in him, but yet secretly you want him to pursue you even harder, I mean, this is it's energetically you can feel all that, and man will feel that as well. The second one is not dissolving in himself, and I brought over here the love triangle: Aristotle Onassis, Jackie Kennedy, and Maria Callas. Now, all these three people were very prominent figures. I wouldn't say that any one of them was better or worse. But you see how Marie Callas was really dissolved in them in Onassis. I mean, she really loved him, and she really like wanted to be with him, want to be more than just a fling or something. But he married Jackie Kennedy. Why? Because Jackie Kennedy was not dissolving in him. She was not really. She was maybe interested, but she was not dissolving. Marie Callas dissolved herself. So this is what you need to remember. If you want to keep a man in your life, you have to have a life. Man appreciates strength. This inner strength, not physical strength, but inner strength. And since a woman is the energetic carrier in the relationship, you have to have that strength. You could not ask for that strength from him. You could not be upset, offended, or anything. You need to hold the strength and give yourself that emotional support, not ask him for the emotional support. You need to know what you want. You need to know how to get it, and you need to know that you will be able to get it with this man or with another man. You see, Jackie Kennedy could have married anybody else. I mean, she was not desperate. Now, Marie Callas was dissolved in Aristotle Onassis. She wanted him. She was ready to drop everything just for him, and that was wrong. She dissolved when the other one was not dissolved. So if you want to keep a man on his toes, you could never be fully dissolved. Remember, a man, especially a masculine man, they need to know that they're achieving something, that they're conquering something. If you already conquered, there's no interest in you. He will look for somebody else to conquer. I mean, ideally, it would be something like a business or some kind of venture. But for a person who is extremely wealthy, who has everything, I mean, these are usually women. And if you are not conquered, he will spend all his time. If you reciprocate his interest, but yet you are not fully conquered all the time, then he will put more and more effort into doing this. So again, remember that he is not your emotional support. You're supposed to be emotional support and strength for both of you. So you are the one who provides this kind of the strength, the security for yourself, first of all. And then if he's in your life, if he's constantly in your life, then maybe you can provide it for him. But if you will show weakness, men do not like weakness, despise weaknesses. Sometimes they can stay next to you and kind of and help you out to go through this. But for the most part, they will leave you at the first moment. I know this. I went through this, many times. A man would stay, would comfort me for a few days, and then he will be looking for ways out, because nobody wants because men look for women who are strong inside, who know what they want, and who will stand their ground, who will not humiliate themselves for something not as important. Self-value is important when it comes to men. All right, so a few things that I wanted for you to remember when building the relationship with the man. So you start dating a man, and you kind of move in at a particular pace. Remember, men, especially masculine men, they're very fast on getting something. So because they're action oriented, they don't have patience. So they will be pushing on you this kind of the love bombing, the attention, maybe the presence, everything. They will be texting and calling you because you are the new project, and they're super excited about this new project. So at those moments, you need to remember to take a little step back. This is all good, but remember that this is just the beginning. And in the beginning, when you're planning something, when you're starting a new project, you're excited too. But after a while, when it takes some time, you start losing interest little by little. So let the first fire kind of die out a little bit, and then the new fire, the more consistent fire, start burning again. So the few things to remember that we attract people energetically. If the man that you have in your life right now matches you energetically, matches your masculinity. So if you think that your man is better than you, do not think like this. If you think that you're better than a man, do not think like this. You guys matched, here you are. And this is what it is. Look, when I came back to Florida in the beginning, I met this guy, and I believed there were things that I believed, and that's why we didn't connect anyhow, because I believe he was better than me. Then I started believing I was better than me. So we did not match energetically. Lately, we matched energetically. We started socializing, and I see that yes, we are matching energetically. So what I want to say is that whoever the man in your life is right now, do not put him on a pedestal, and do not put yourself on a pedestal and look down at him. You guys are equal, even if he's wealthier than you or more successful than you, or if you are wealthier than him or more successful than him, you are equal energetically. Just because somebody has more money doesn't mean that energetically he could match something else. Money is not always an indication of that strong energy inside. So now, because this is because we match energetically, we usually stay in each other's life until we are on that same level. Now, if one of us will go up or down, the other person will probably, their relationship will somehow dissolve. Usually it should dissolve harmoniously. So, for example, I'm dating a man, and the man suddenly gain a lot of weight, and he just doesn't want to do nothing active. He's just becoming lazy, and lazy. At one point I will tell him, listen, that's it, I'm leaving, because I know myself, I'm not going to be sitting next to a person who is not motivated to do anything, who doesn't do actions. That would be normal. So the person that you have in right now matches your energy. You shouldn't worry about intimacy anyhow. You shouldn't because it has nothing to do, the person is in your life while you're energetically matching. Intimacy has nothing to do with that, unless after intimacy you become a completely different person. For example, you completely dissolve in him, there is no I, there is only we. You believe that now you guys share everything and supposed to be, so it's like, if you're losing that, this is what should worry you. It's not the intimacy itself, it's you acting differently, absolutely, like an absolutely different person. And I know this from my own experience. I remember myself before, as soon as I'm intimate with the guy, it's almost for me like we're just chained together, like we belong to each other, that's it, there is nobody between us. Suddenly everybody else in his life is not important because I'm here. And I know that this is incorrect. Obviously, this is incorrect, and this is it's wrong, and it shouldn't be like this. So remember this: you and the man are on the same energetic level. The intimacy will not change it. What change if you will start acting differently? If you will suddenly believe that he belongs to you, so you put yourself above him, or if suddenly you believe, what if I lose him? He's so good, and might lose him. This is what can separate you. It's not the intimacy; it's your behavior. And I'm telling you, this is your behavior, not his behavior, because he will mirror what you do. So if you are thinking that he's not worthy of you, then he will start acting like not worthy of you. If you will think that he's too good and you might lose him, he will start acting like this, that he's too good and you're afraid to lose him. You see, again, it's not the intimacy, it's you after the intimacy, why you start acting like this. And I see this often, not lately really. I mean, I'm happy that women becoming more conscious about what they do. All right, the next thing that I wanted to mention, you building the relationship. Every relationship involves at least two people. So it's because it's two people, right? Two people in the relationship. One person could not build the relationship. It's two people who build, So all these bloggers who telling you, don't do nothing, sit and wait, let him do everything. Okay, they're partially right. A man is kind of focused on activity, on doing some actions, but you still need to do something, A man will gladly run towards you, but you need to at least turn toward his side. You could not be like, okay, that's it, I'm not doing nothing, let me close my door and let him fight for me, let him fight my inner dragons just to conquer me. Look, it doesn't work like this. It doesn't work. I'm telling you, masculinity is very ego driven. They need validation. If they don't get validation, they will lose interest, and they're not going to do nothing. And then you will be disappointed. Oh, look at him, another one, he's not doing what he was supposed to do. Again, this is Again, this is just this how it happens all the time. So in the relationship there is always two people, and because there is two people need to do some kind of actions. I don't say that you should do everything by yourself, schedule, plan the dates, I mean, ask him when you guys are going to see each other, this and that. Don't. But do something, reciprocate, do answer him, or send him a cute video here and there, I mean, send him a cute message. Again, it's two people who are building the relationship. One person could not do, if imagine if a guy is not doing nothing and you're like, oh, I miss you, or like, or when will I see you, and he's just not answering, pretending to be all this, how would you feel? It's not worth it. If you don't get back something, there's not going to be a relationship. So remember this: do not act as this kind of somebody who you're not. You need to, I put over here, make sure that you keep the door open. Another thing that I wanted to, another thing to keep in mind, if there are men who are driven by challenges, and there are, obviously a few. Now, if you completely do not show any kind of interest, and you're just pretending to be this kind of unachievable mountain, ever non-conquered mountain, a man might conquer you. He might do everything he wants, but only as a challenge, only to prove something to himself, So he will bombard you with presence, with attention, with everything for, I don't know, 2-3 months. He will win you over. And once you will just a little bit warm up to him, he will leave you, because he was not really interested in you at that moment. He was interested in conquering you. It was his personal challenge, and he did it. He knows you're not interested in him. He knows that from the start you were not interested in him. He was doing it, that you are interested only in his actions, and his actions were all like he was acting on 100%, maybe 200% of his abilities just to conquer you. Be careful of that. That happen often, and I see that. How do I see this? Because I live in Miami. My clients are women from Miami, so they are beautiful. They're all very put together. They're usually with some money too, and so they believe they deserve the world. They don't only listen to me; they listen to other bloggers as well. And so those other bloggers put them in their mind that they're such queens. They don't need to do nothing. They need to pretend that they're like you really need to invest to conquer her attention, right? And usually this is what happened. They meet a guy, and the guy start love bombing them, giving them everything. They start giving them attention. I mean, finding the way to get them into different kind of events. I mean, buying them extremely expensive gifts. And then once the woman warms up a little bit, he leaves her, because he was doing it as his personal challenge. He was not really exactly interested in her. He was interested in conquering her, to almost, I wouldn't say to put her down a little bit, but to maybe humble her a little bit. That happens. I saw it myself. It didn't happen exactly to me, but it happened to a few of my clients, and it's a painful experience, especially after all those presents, all that treatment. You suddenly just left with nothing. I mean, I only can imagine. So, and the women become a little bitter, and they're very cautious when it comes to next man. So, be mindful. That's why I'm telling you, if you are not interested in a man, do not play hard to get. Tell him, I'm not really interested. Do not let him do this to you, because I'm telling you, the experience is painful. No. Here, I even put over here. I hear often, he was trying to get me for so long and then broke up with me. You see, and I put, he did what he wanted because he knew that you were not, from the start, you were not interested. So again, it happens. It happens more often than you would think. Just keep going. Do not believe everything the man does in the first. What does he say? The first 3 months, man does not really act himself most of the time. Well, women do not act themselves too. So look at everything through a clear, realistic lens. All right. And I put over here again, when you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter when you're intimate with the man. What matter is how intimacy affects you. If you suddenly become we instead of I, you lose. So this is very important, and I hope you will remember this. At least the only thing you will remember from this video, remember this. It's not the intimacy, it's what you become after intimacy. What you allow, what you, like, for example, like me, once I would be intimate with the guy, I almost would allow him things that I would not allow before. So, for example, if he would like, oh, can, um, can I want to see you, can I pick you up at like 11 p.m. and I'm like, usually I would go to sleep, but I'm like, okay, because I'm trying to make, because I'm thinking where I think right now, you see. But ideally, I mean, what this intimacy has to do, I mean, I need to sleep, so I would tell him, listen, maybe another time. So it is important, or for example, you had you were intimate with the guy, and then suddenly you telling everybody, oh, he's my boyfriend. What he does he does Why does sex makes him your boyfriend? I mean, how does it happen like this? It doesn't really, just because you are with somebody does not has nothing to do with what you, but you setting expectations in your relationship for no reason, you see. He is not even sure what you are. Why would you be so sure and tell everybody that you guys are something together? It doesn't work like this, and I hope you will remember this, that it's not really the intimacy, it's what you become once you're like this. I don't want you to think that you are cheapening yourself by being with the man. You are not. It's not like this. You make yourself cheap if you believe in that. If you believe that, oh, man used me, well, maybe you used him. Like, it's not, it doesn't work like this. Look, I had this guy a long time ago. I lived in New York. The guy was very religious. He was Muslim, he was religious. I didn't know he was religious, honestly. I found out it after, once I started coming to his place. And he was fasting, like, he was a religious man. He was young, but he was from a religious family and everything. I offered him the relationship that would have been, you would say, not only cheap, but very degrading. But this is what I offered. I didn't know he was like this. I mean, I liked him, and I knew I wouldn't date him. But I told him we could, be friends with benefits together. And he was like, okay. He was surprised, but yet. And we were friends with benefits for some time, maybe like, I don't know, maybe 3 months or so. And then he wanted more. He wanted to take me on dates. He wanted to date me. He wanted to marry me. He was giving me a gift. Look, a person who is religious, from a religious background, who is kind of has this kind of set of strong morals in him, and he did not judge me because I didn't judge myself. Because it has nothing to do with intimacy. It has everything to do with how I felt about this. And I felt really, really great. I was upfront with him. I never lied to him about nothing. I told him what I wanted. I told him what I expected. I told him what I can give him. So when he started with his, let's have a relationship, let's go on a date, I told him I never really promised you that. It did not bother me with that. We did separated, after a few months, because he was too insistent on becoming something serious, and I didn't look for serious, and he was not the person for the serious at that time. So what I want to say is that it's not about intimacy. Nobody will think better or worse about you because you are sleeping with the guy or not sleeping with the guy. It's how you feel about that, and I want you to feel right. It's your energy that counts, not what you do with the guy. Like, I used to be ashamed if I would become too emotional with the guy. Right now I believe that it's my asset. So I think the guys like me being emotional because I'm like this. Who knows what to expect from me, and I think that's what they like. It keeps them entertained. So again, it's about what you feel. It's about what you become after you've been intimate with the guy, you see. Very important how your energy changes. Does it change for the worse or for the better? Are you still your own person, or you are now fully and completely dissolved in the guy? It's not when it will happen. It will happen. It's like a guy when he's buying you something, presents, when he's paying for you in the restaurant. A confident man, even if there won't be no relationship, he will not begrudge you those a few $1,000 that he spent on you. I mean, he will feel great about himself. He gave you, he feels good, he feels accomplished, he feels kind of overall in a good place with you and with himself. Even if nothing will go, he still feels great. So why would you, if you give him a little bit love and emotions, why would you feel any particular way? The same, you would feel good. You had good time with him, he had good time. Okay, it doesn't, nothing will happen, but at least at that moment it was good. So the next thing that you need to keep in mind, this is a little mean, but I want to say this. So do not pretend to be this princess that everybody wants if he is the first guy who showed interest in you in a long time. You can play hard to get when you have admirers knocking at your door day and night. Do not pretend. Do not pretend something. Oh my God, where did it go? Do not pretend to be something when your energy speaks different. So this is important. I see it quite often, honestly. I see it among my friends. Well, my friends are already in a different age category, but when we were younger, I saw it often. When I was myself like this. I would pretend like I'm not interested, but then I would sit and think about him and like, why is he not calling? He's supposed to. I haven't called him in 2 days. Like, doesn't he miss me? Aren't he supposed to? So I'm like constantly think about him. My energy is over there, and I'm surprised that he's not calling because I'm on his back, even though I'm not saying nothing. I'm not doing any kind of actions. So do not be this kind of almighty queen. That okay, that's it. Now the guy showed me interest. Now I'm going to pretend that I'm not interested. Now I'm going to. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous. It's so it's so childish, because your energy gives you away. What's the point? If I will tell a man I'm not interested, don't call me no more, but I'm sitting all day thinking about him, missing him, getting angry that he's not knocking at my door, he's not calling me. It's like me on my knees begging him for something. It's the same energetically. It's the same. The guy probably was thinking over there, why am I, he feels this and he doesn't want to call you, he doesn't want to knock on your door, he doesn't want to even socialize with you because of that, because he feels this this kind of, he's despising you, he doesn't know why, because your energy is there, no, instead of being here. So it's no matter, you can pretend all you want, but if your energy is not on point, it will not work. And I'm telling you, I saw it so many times with my friends, maybe because they were reflecting me, the same thing. It's like, I'm not going to tell him anything, I'm not going to call him, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm going to live my life, okay? And then every conversation is about him and he's still not showing up in her life. I mean, only when you kind of when you dissociate yourself from that man, only then he appears, because finally the energy left his aura. Remember, each one of us is an individual with our own aura, and we have, first of all, we need to protect that aura. So when somebody is always constantly in that aura, we're pushing away from that person because we're protecting the aura first. Then you could not be in love if you have to defend your own space, you see. So a man will pull away, will push far away from me, because I would be invading. And this is exactly what I meant when I told you that a man who I slept right away, or man who I didn't sleep for a long time, or with whom I took time, all of them was still in my life. But this man that I was dissolving in, they left me. I mean, they left me. They came back after. I mean, they always come back once my energy was on point again. But what I want to say is that this is what happened. It was not the intimacy. It's how I started behaving after intimacy. How I started dissolving, thinking about him, running my head nonstop, that guy, thinking, okay, what should I say? How should I react? He's going to reach out to me. What will I write to him? And then he doesn't write. And then you start thinking different things. Okay, so now he's, what kind of asshole he is. I'm not going to talk to him no more. Let him write, and I will write him that I'm not interested. And again and again and again, the thoughts about the guy. It's like the whole life is on pause just because the guy appeared. So this is what important. Do not pretend that you are something that you are not energetically. You can be pretended that you're this unbothered kind of person, but inside you couldn't calm yourself down. He will feel that. He will feel what's inside, not what's outside. And this is really crucial. All right, so the next point to keep in mind, if the guy is insistent on conquering you, it's either he has no other options or takes it personally. That's to the what I told you, that the guy could really, really be invested, conquer you, and then leave you. I see it. Some men are vengeful, especially if they have a lot of dirty feminine energy and they have money, they have resources. They will do that. So they will conquer you, and then they will just basically leave you. So it could be either he doesn't have options, so he's I don't know, maybe broke, maybe he's just antisocial, and finally you paid attention to him or something. So, or he takes it personal. So keep that in mind. Men are usually not mean, but if you are telling him no, 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 and he's still on your back, something is off there. You must understand. If a man is successful, if he has a normal social life, if he's if he has life overall, he wouldn't be humiliating himself like that. I mean, there is a reason why a healthy, young, not even young, somewhat successful, semi-successful man would act like this. There is a reason. It's either, I'm telling you, it's either he's taken it personally and he will leave you as soon as the opportunity will come, or he's just desperate for something. I mean, he has no other option. So this could happen. Keep that in mind. And one more thing that I wanted to to mention. You should. So I told you about all this. Now you will tell one stage. When should I be intimate? Now you should be intimate with the guy when you feel like being intimate. Everything else does not really matter. You should not be intimate with the man because man wants you to. Do not do that. Only when you want to. Remember, you are energetic driver in the relationship. A man will follow you. So lead him, energetically, I mean, so if you do not feel like yet being intimate, do not be. If you feel good about that, he will follow you. He will respect your kind of this decision. Now, if you feel like you have to, this is not a good start. So always do yourself. Now, how do you know? You probably asking, well, how do I know when it's comfortable for me? Look at your Venus sign. Your Venus sign will tell you when it's good for you to be intimate or not. Like, for example, my Venus is in Sagittarius. This is a very fiery placement, and Sagittarius is very fast like this. So I do not really postpone. I do not wait a couple of months. I do not I act on my impulses and instincts. I know maybe it's not always good, but my problem is not with being intimate with the guy right away. My problem is to make sure to dissociate after the intimacy, to make sure that I'm not planning our life together when there is no life yet. So this is now, if you, for example, maybe if you have Venus in Capricorn, you would be the one who would wait till the wedding. But maybe you have Venus in Pisces, you also will take time. It will take time to kind of to get to know one another. So Venus in earthy signs and water signs takes its time. It's normal for you to get to know the person, to grow into the person. Venus in air is usually doesn't care when it's going to happen, like now or in 2 hours. They really don't care. Venus in fire, they could be almost, I wouldn't say, like they would almost pursue the guy, like they would be the initiator of the intimacy. And as I told you, because I was brought up in such a conservative environment, for me I was almost ashamed of myself that I maybe wanted to do something that was not a proper time or proper kind of proper relationship yet. So again, it's up to you. This is not what you should worry about. You should worry about being yourself after that happens. After you're already intimate with the guy, make sure you do not betray yourself. Make sure you still live your life. Make sure that you're belonging to yourself, not to him or that illusionary relationship that you built for yourself in your mind. This is crucial. One thing again: do not be intimate with the guy if he's, I wouldn't say forcing you, but if he's insistent in you, like feeling like you, oh, this, do not do this. This is wrong. That would be very wrong on all the aspects. Again, you're the energetic driver. If you are not, if you do not freely use your energy, then like how is it going to be? You know, that shouldn't be like that. The man will follow the lead. You know, do not doubt yourself. Give yourself some kind of time. You know, feel when it's the right time, and only then do something that you want to do, like that. But when will it happen? It doesn't really matter. And the last point here that I wanted to mention is, a man will never get turned off by intimacy. A man will never get turned off by you asking for presents or money. A man will never get turned off if you would be somewhat demanding in something. But a man will get turned off when you will lose yourself. Yeah, and he will get turned off very, very fast. Masculinity likes inner strength. You can be weak and fragile outside, depending on him to walk the room in your Louboutins, but you could not have weak core. You could not have that weakness inside of you. This a man will not forgive you, and he will leave you. Why? Because men inside are not strong, so they need a woman who is strong inside. They need to know that she will be able to carry this energetic part of their relationship. You see, so this is if you are worried that, oh, you ask a man for a present and he will drop you, that would never happen. Worst case scenario, he will say no, you know, maybe I don't know, I don't have money, or not right now, or I don't think we're at that point yet to buy you something, or whatever. This is the worst that he can say, really. I mean, what else he can say? He will never be turned off by intimacy. I don't know one man who will tell me, oh my God, you jumped into my bed right away. Not one guy ever said that. Not anybody. I never heard my friends saying something like this. You know, it's the most religious guy would be happy to have you in his bed for as long as he possibly can, and you know, and he will reward you for that. He will buy you presents. But I know men who are pushing away, and they stay away from women who are clingy, who are demanding, controlling. This is they would not tolerate. So this is something to remember. I hope I answered you this question once and for all. Proceed at your own caution. Do not worry when to be intimate. Worry about what you become after the intimacy. This is what you need to worry. If you are staying the same person as you are, a man will want you again and again and again for years, for decades to come. I'm telling you, I went through all this. With my mistakes. So, I mean, now I observe my clients, I observe their mistakes, I observe my friends. Sometimes they also make mistakes, even though, you know, kind of we already outgrow all that. But still, I see that, you know, it happening. Even it happened to me. Like a couple months ago, I connected with this guy, and I didn't like, I don't know, I like him, but I think I was somewhat bored. The energy was kind of the spicy and energy. It was just strange overall. And so I got really into him. You know, I was already into him, and so I was observing myself. I was acting, and I was an actor and also an observer, and I saw the mistakes I was doing, obviously. And I was like, Anastasia, you're going to fix those mistakes, or you're going to lose the guy. You know, choose what you're going to do. I observed. I didn't react anyhow. I didn't do anything. I just observed myself, and I started fixing myself, because the guy said I would become too emotionally invested in him. It has nothing to do with intimacy, really. Yeah, intimacy added it, but I was too emotionally invested, and I was thinking about him all the time. I postponed everything that I like to do. Well, I still was doing, but I was thinking about him. I was invested in him, and invested in the relationship that I knew I'm not going to go too far. But I still was very invested, and you know, and I liked it. I liked to be this kind of version of myself that is in love. That's, you know, I wouldn't even say I was in love, but you know, this butterflies. It's always So, and I was observing, I saw that the guy started pulling away. The guy who wanted me for so long, was pulling away. And I'm like, what is happening? But I knew what was happening. I was too much into him. I was invading his space, his energetic space. I was too much at the very short period of time, and he was not able to adjust. And he started pulling away. So what I did, I returned back to my life. I started focusing on my life without getting bitter with him. I still have, had good kind of feelings about him, good memory and everything. And the guy started returning back into, resurfacing, back into my life again. But I know what I was doing. I know what I was doing wrong. I know that I was able to fix it. I know that it's not that hard. It takes a little effort, but it's not that hard. So you see, I fixed it. Now, a lot of people could not. They become bitter. The man pulls away and they start hating on him again, another one, all men the same, this and this. And this is what caused the friction. It spoils the energy between you two. The energy becomes dirty, messy, chaotic, and you should not allow that. You need to step back, like I did, and reevaluate your actions. Get back to your life, like me. Yes, it was much. It was really fun to think about him, to rechew in my mind our kind of interactions and everything. I understand this. This was very pleasant, but my life is not only being with him, or having this kind of little romance. My life is so much bigger and wider. I could not be forgetting about myself, about my projects, about everything that I'm doing, just because I have a little romance right now in my life. So like, if you will learn how to observe and control yourself, you will become, like in everything, you need to have discipline. You will be able to hold man. Well, it's not like it's a goal, but you will be able to stay in control in the relationship, and the man will never really lose interest in you. This is important. When you're going to sleep with him is not important at all. I'm telling you. My strongest relationship, longest relationship with man with whom I almost slept on the first date or second date or whatever. The ones that I was kind of waiting, holding on, pretending something, just went into nothing. So it doesn't matter. A man will not feel any worse with you just because you were intimate right away. It will encourage him, that you are really interested. Like, I will tell you a story. I have this client. The client is energy of air, and she met this guy. The guy is successful and everything, and they went. So they work in a similar area, so they do sometimes interact. Like, maybe once in 2 months they meet somewhere. And so they met once, and they met second time, and they went for lunch, and somehow lunch ended up in his apartment. So anyways, they had what they had, and then they went their separate ways. So again, she was, because she's energy of air, she doesn't attach really to people like this. So she was doing her business again. They reconnected again. So in a couple months, again they met in one of the events, and again, again they had something. So the guy, she was interested in the guy. The guy was cute, and and she was like, should I give him a chance? Should I not? I'm like, do you like him? Not. So anyways, long story short, the guy started pursuing her, but she was pulling away. And I told her, if you want the guy, if you want his interest, you need to reciprocate. You need to turn it back. You need to give him something for him to continue pursuing you. You see, the relationship right now, they've been dating for half a year already, like, seriously. I think the guy is going to propose. But what I want to say is that, you see how it started. It started as a as a fling, but it started growing. It's growing, and at one point, good thing, maybe thanks to me, or thanks to her questioning herself, she started actually showing interest in him, because she was interested, and he started doing more actions. But again, he did not feel any particular way, just because they were they were a little tipsy and they had sex together. Then the first date they met. So, like this. All right, let me sum it up really fast. I hope I inspired you, encouraged you. Like, that friend of mine long time ago, without knowing this, encouraged me and inspired me. I really was was shocked. And it was not just me and her. This was like a group of us, and everybody was telling, yeah, me too, me too. I mean, I don't mind. I'm like, I was looking at them like they had 5 heads. Like, how could you? How could you? I thought there was a rule, no kissing till the third date. But I'm happy that they spoke. Maybe I needed that at that time, and my life became so much more different. It became even better when I started controlling myself after intimacy, but that took much longer time in my life. And only when I started working with energy, I started realizing that no matter how much and how long I pretend, person can feel everything, and they don't even know why they're pulling away from me. Like, what's the reason? Because they can feel the energy. I can pretend to be not interested, but unless I'm seriously not interested, they would never feel it. So again, but that took years, but luckily, better late than never. I'm able. All right, so let me sum it up. If you have questions, ask. So for if you're really interested in a man, and if you want a man to stay in your life for too long, I mean, men are not high maintenance. They do not require many things. So there is need to be only two confluences, so to say, in life for him to stay in your life. So the first one is he need to be interested in you. It's very hard when a man from the start is not interested in you. This is a waste of really time. You can do anything you want. You can learn all the techniques and everything, and like move the energy. It would be a waste of time because a man was never really interested in you. Do not waste time on those. Waste on those who are at least somewhat interested physically in you. And the second one, you should be enjoying him so he feels like his efforts are not wasted, and you should never dissolve in him. One foot out the door, remember? So once he will become dissolved, he will start pulling away. And for the interest, especially in the beginning, make sure you reciprocate, unless you're the only woman in the village that you live and there is no other guys and you're the only one and everybody loves you and you really don't care about this guy. Do not pretend like he needs to do extra work to get your interest, to get your smile. Be realistic. I mean, I do not say to lower yourself to dating a man that are not on your level. I never say this, but be real. If you like the guy, be be smart. Like I was watching this old American movie, and there was a lady, and she was like in her early 40s or late 30s, and she went to Venice for the first time. She was dreaming about it. I mean, it's a beautiful movie. I don't remember what's called it. The Holiday or Vacation, something like that. And I mean, the movie is just beautiful. And so she met this guy, Italian guy, and she obviously liked him, and he liked her, but he was married. And so she's like, with all this moral principle, she's like, no, I don't want to. And he told her, listen, if you're hungry, why do you want to eat he gave this kind of analogy. It was really funny. He said, you want to eat steak, you're so hungry and you want to eat steak, but there is no steak, there is only ravioli. Eat the ravioli. I remember, because of the ravioli. And so they started having like a little romance or whatever, and she had the best time of her life. So her moral principles didn't allow her to become to stay with him for a long time. She left, but still she at the end she said it was the best time of my life. So again, if you want a relationship and a man and you're really interested in a man, do not try to be something you are not just because you want him to work extra hard so he will respect you more. He will never do it. It doesn't work like this. Show him also a little interest. All right, and a few things to remember, just so you know. Oh my God, just a second. So we attract people energetically. Whatever man are knocking at your door right now, this is the man that are matching your energy. As bad as it sounds, as wrong maybe you think as it sounds, it is how it is. This is what matches your masculinity right now. Sometimes when I'm traveling and there's men who are writes me, and I'm like, how do you even dare to to write me? But then I'm like, I remember, okay, we match energetically, so I guess maybe because I'm traveling, my energy is not as strong. Maybe that's why I'm attracting. Maybe in his world, he's kind of strong. Maybe he believes in himself so much. So do not look at the man from above, and do not look at him from, as a god. You can look at him as a god, but remember that you're a goddess too. So you guys are equal all the time. Now, every relationship involves two people. You could not sit uninterested, and hope that he will be running around you, jumping around you, entertaining you just for the hell of it. If you don't show interest, he will just dissolve. He will find something else to be interested about. Masculinity doesn't really masculinity is not very consistent. They can be persistent but not very consistent. So they will try again, then okay, so it doesn't work, next project, like this. you know and they don't have the patience, so they might still keep you in their life. Like, I have admirers, they tried, okay, it didn't work, but I was not interested, you see. So they have, some of them are married, some of them have relationship, then they have different relationship. I'm still in their lives, but just like somebody extra, I don't mind, because again, I was never interested in them. But if you're interested in a guy, make sure he doesn't put you in a category of extras. Make sure that you are in the right category. Now, if a man will sometimes a man will take your rejections personally, so he will love bomb you to, just to prove himself something, and then he will leave you. That happens. Just don't take it personally. I mean, it's okay. Don't try to pretend that you're something that you're not. Energy will tell. Energy will tell everything there is. And if you should choose to be intimate with the man when you want to. Do not be pressured into nothing. A man will respect you. Remember, you are the energetic driver in the relationship. Do not do anything if you don't feel right. Do not feel um, do not feel pressured also by the moral kind of beliefs and standards. Again, I told you, I dated men from different backgrounds, different religions, different everything. Not one man ever judged me because I was, I don't know, promiscuous or whatever. I mean, it just doesn't happen like this, because I didn't believe in this. I knew that I'm a good person, that I have, my morals, my standards, but it has nothing to do with those standards. So again, and a man will never be turned off by your desire for intimacy. A man will never be turned off by you asking him for something, for presence, for some kind of material support, for physical support. But he will be turned off if you will lose that inner strength, that cord that holds you together. He will leave you. You will see. I'm telling you, masculinity appreciates strength, inner strength, especially in women. You don't have it, you will be next, and they will not feel bad, because masculinity doesn't feel bad. They're not emotional, they're not empathetic. You want to stay with the man? Suck it up, be strong inside, keep the strong core, and you will always have men around you. You will see. I know this. I'm energy of water. I can fall apart very fast, but only when I learned to keep myself together, to keep myself in my life. Only then I started attracting really strong men who really respect me, and I could do anything I want with them, without them, and they will still will be in my life. Why? Because again, I have a strong core that they appreciate, that they respect, and I'm not afraid of expressing myself. I do whatever I want. I'm not afraid of being judged. I don't judge myself. They're obviously interested in me. I don't date men who are not interested in me. I mean, that's no point. And I don't dissolve in them. So that's also amazingly working for me and for them. When I get a little dissolved, like I told you just now, I mean, I step back. I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm spoiling it myself. I know I need to take a step back, refocus, find the interest in my life again, and he will be right back with his apologies and excuses and whatever else. All right, that's it. I hope it was helpful. I hope I inspired you. Please do not doubt yourself ever. The time of intimacy has nothing with whether a man will be with you or not, whether he will be interested or not. has nothing to do, I will tell you. Your energy though does. So better work on that than on when you choose to kiss the guy. All right, that's it. I will see you TikTok. Let me just quickly glance. Okay, bye TikTok. See you next week at 11 a.m. And YouTube, we're going to part 2. Remember that all the planets are direct right now, so it's a good time to start something new, to move forward with some kind of new ideas, new projects, new whatever you have in your mind. It's a good time. It will be till the beginning of May, so use this time. It's amazing, and it's Aries season. Aries is all about new starts, new beginnings, so good time. All right, that's it. If you have questions, ask. If not, I will see you next week at 11 a.m. And we're going to be talking what people around you can help you with. Interesting subject, and I'm sure it will be helpful. Bye, everybody. Enjoy Sunday.